In October 2025, Jelly made the decision to head back to the Vive Gumble River, somewhere he'd been before. But this visit would turn into something that confirmed every dark rumor surrounding the place. The river hadn't earned its haunted reputation through folklore alone. Just 6 months before Jelly arrived, a tragedy unfolded there that shook the surrounding community to its core. The locals were convinced that the Vive Gumble, a female spirit tied to the river, hadn't left, that she was still lurking, still preying on those who came too close. That was exactly why Jelly felt compelled to return. He wanted to spend an entire night there and find out for himself whether any of it was real. He made camp directly on the rocks where that tragedy had taken place, planning to sleep out in the open with nothing but a tent for cover. As darkness settled in around 9 p.m., strange noises started reaching his ears. He did his best to keep it together, sipping coffee, keeping his thoughts busy, but the sounds wouldn't stop. Then, at roughly 10:30 p.m., something reached him that sent a chill straight through him.
Astagfirullah. Kalian lihat ini teman-teman. Astagfirullah, dia teman-teman yang minta tolong. La ilaha illallah, kelihatan nggak? Dia teman-teman yang minta tolong. La ilaha illallah. Kemana dia teman-teman? Mana tadi? Ini ya? Di sini ya? La ilaha illallah. Kuntilanak, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahu Akbar, kalian dengarkan, dia minta tolong. Itu orang bukan teman-teman ya? Dia nangis teman-teman. Neng, siapa kamu? Hey!
Jelly knew immediately that no real person was out there calling for help. This was precisely what everyone in the area had told him to watch out for. The Weavy Gumble was trying to draw him away from safety. He made his way back to camp, determined not to be fooled by whatever was out there. Around 11:30 p.m., worn down by the fear and the adrenaline, he finally attempted to get some rest. He positioned a camera just outside his tent to keep watch over the surrounding area, then climbed into his sleeping bag. But the Vive Gumble had no intention of letting him rest.
Kita cuekin aja, teman-teman, kita pancing aja biar dia makin mendekat. Aku tahu dia sengaja nakut-nakutin kita. Allahu Akbar, la quwata illa billah. Astagfirullahaladzim. Siapa itu? Siapa ini? Okay. Apa itu? Kaki teman-teman. Kaki teman-teman. Di sini loh.
By the time morning light broke, and Jelly finally walked away from the B-Day Gumble River, he had lived through everything the locals had been cautioning people about for years. What happened 6 months earlier wasn't a one-off event. It was simply the most recent chapter in the baby Gumble's long and deadly history of claiming those reckless enough to spend a night along its banks. In June of 2025, a travel vlog channel called Fuzzy Dog Productions headed out for a camping trip at Sweetwater Campground, located in Brewster, Massachusetts. Getting there was a hassle, the signage was terrible, and they spent a good chunk of time driving in circles before eventually tracking down their site. Once they settled in, though, it was everything they'd been after. Peaceful, secluded, buried in the trees. Then morning came, and something just didn't feel right.
Thinking more, I don't know.
Wow.
That's crazy. We got robbed.
Why didn't you take the Annie's mac and cheese?
Was this there? Is this the Drambuie thing? I bet it is, right?
Morning. We had a guy walk through here probably about 5 in the morning. The dog was starting to bark. We don't know how long he was here, and he stole all our booze. Literally went through the back of Luna, took the Drambuie for the recommended drink, and just kept walking. Wow. Lesson learned.
Not only did he take our good stuff, he left us shitty stuff. We're definitely a little shocked that this guy went through all of our stuff. This lady here, Mrs. Fuzzy Dog, she's just pissed.
What they found waiting for them was deeply unsettling. Nothing had been stolen, there was no evidence of a break-in. So what exactly was someone trying to accomplish? Ollie Camping is an Indian YouTube channel where the creator documents his experiences building shelters and camping out in the wilderness. The forests he explores are far more treacherous than anything most of us would ever encounter. In this particular video, Ollie decided to push things further than usual, not just erecting a shelter, but building one up in the trees and spending the night there alongside a friend, deep in the middle of nowhere. That's exactly where things take a deeply unsettling turn.
बैक आपका स्वागत है भाई मेरी फिर से एक और नई कैंपिंग वीडियो में। तो भाई फिलहाल तो मैं निकल चुका हूँ यार एक और नई वीडियो के लिए। और भाई आज की जो कैंपिंग होने वाली है वो एकदम पेड़ के ऊपर घर बनाने वाले। भाई आपने मतलब वैसा घर कभी देखा है नहीं देखा ये तो नहीं पता, पर एकदम ऐसा तगड़ा बनाने वाले हैं। डुओ कैंपिंग होने वाली है यार, वंश भी आने वाला है। बाकी अभी गर्मी हो रही है तो यार चप्पल वगैरह भी पहने हैं। बाकी बैग में मैं जूते भी रख के लेके आऊँ क्योंकि यार शाम के टाइम पे वो ठंडा होता है।
Construction on the shelter got underway, and by the time it was complete, darkness had already closed in around them. They got a fire going, started preparing a meal, and that's the moment the strange sounds first made themselves known.
अभी तो शायद मेरे हिसाब से पानी की जरूरत नहीं है। का ढक्कन ऐसे करके रख देते हैं ये। तो चलो फिर भाइयों, आप सब्जी बनने के लिए इसमें रख दी है। अब इंतजार। बेटा आवाज जैसी आई ले।
बेटा ये तो बात की है बे शायद। बात की जैसी नहीं आई फिर।
बेटा
ये तो इधर ही ऊपर ही से आई बे कहीं आसपास से।
बेटा इधर आ जा बे।
बेटा इसको खोलता हूँ रुक। बेटा
अभी अभी चल दिया।
वीडियो ऑन कर दिया मैंने। ले पकड़ पकड़ पकड़।
बेटा क्या था ले? बेटा तेरे को तो कुछ नहीं होगा, मैं हूँ वहाँ, मेरे लगेंगे। बाय गॉड, इधर साइड से आई ना, इधर साइड से कहीं। अब सेफ लग रहा है बाय गॉड। और फ्राई वन में गिर गया है, फ्राई गिर गया वो। बेटा क्या होगा ले कर, उधर ही से आई बे, मेरे को तो वहाँ कहीं से लगी यार, यहाँ को तो नहीं है कुछ।
Their initial reaction was alarm, but they shook it off and carried on eating. For a brief moment, it seemed like everything was fine, until it very clearly wasn't. The noises were growing in intensity, and it was becoming obvious that whatever was out there was drawing nearer.
देखा नहीं इतना। दोस्तों और आ गई आवाज़ और पास से आई है अभी, आप भी सुन रहे होगे। यहीं कहीं थी
यार, ऐसा क्यों भाई, बार बार घबराहट हो जा रही है भाई, और तो कुछ नहीं। बेटा वो देख, भाग भी।
ये तो यहीं
बेटा
पे है
बेटा कैमरा भी वही है,
कैमरा भी वही है यार।
देखो दूसरा फोन दे 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 दे,
इससे होगा देख।
खोल
बेटा यही घूम रहा है बे उस समय।
बेटा क्या करे ले, बेटा इधर साइड भी आ क्या भी, ये देख बेटा, बेटा सांप दिख रहा है बे, बेटा कितनी पास आ रहा है बे, क्या करे बे, बेटा बेटा यहीं पे आ गया बेटा, वो देख बे, वो देख बेटा, वो देखो पेड़ के पीछे चला गया बे, दोस्तों भाग नीचे आ गया, उधर साइड पे को क्या कर रहे हैं समझ नहीं आ रहा।
आग भी बुझा दिया बेटा हमने।
Then they spotted movement shifting through the trees and understood immediately that this was no ordinary forest ambiance. It was a tiger. Both of them went completely still, terrified that any motion might draw its attention, especially given that tigers are more than capable of scaling the very tree they were sheltering in. Eventually, the creature vanished back into the darkness. The second they felt the danger had passed, they bolted straight for their vehicle. Fortunately, both of them walked away without a scratch. An encounter like that could have Ike Mike and his crew dropped anchor just offshore from Skinwalker Island, too unnerved to actually step foot on the land itself. The locals had one standing rule: whatever else you do, stay away from Skinwalker Island. They ignored it completely.
One of the most feared locations on Lake Natalushi. But what makes this place so disturbing is that it wasn't always treated like a forbidden location. At one point, people actually went there. People used to be able to reserve campsites on this island and even stay overnight.
But then, the stories changed. People started reporting voices coming from the trees when no one was on the island. Campers claimed that family members were calling to them from the shoreline, even though those people were miles away. Others said they saw figures standing between the trees, watching from a distance, but disappearing the moment a flashlight hit them.
And then, after one unknown incident, everything stopped. No more camping, no more reservations, no more overnight stays. The island was abandoned, and eventually people stopped calling it from its real name. They started calling it Skinwalker Island. In Skinwalker lore, the scariest part isn't always the attacks. It's the voices that it uses to get your attention. It can change its form at any given time and almost look human. And that is exactly what people have been claiming around this lake for decades.
For a long time, people treated these stories as folklore, but then Camp Skinwalker changed everything.
The deeper we looked into this island, the more it seemed like people were trying to erase what happened here. There are barely any clear records, and almost nobody wants to talk about why a place like this that used to be open to campers was suddenly left abandoned.
But the stories all seem to agree on one thing. Something was believed to be already on this island before the campground was even active.
This is why we are here. Not because this island is haunted, because if the stories are true, this is where it all started. The number one rule we were told not.
People used to book camping trips out here regularly. Then something happened, something nobody ever named or explained, and the reservations dried up overnight and never came back. Campers had described hearing the voices of loved ones calling out to them from the water's edge, people who were confirmed to be nowhere near the island. Shadowy figures lurking between the trees, only to vanish the instant a flashlight beam found them. No official records, no documented explanation, just an island that everyone quietly agreed to stop talking about. Whoa, whoa.
Look, deep.
What?
There's something moving over there.
Whoa,
Is there?
I saw that. What the heck is that thing?
Something animal?
I don't know. Something's weird. Dude, I don't know, man. I'm telling you, I don't think it's a good idea. Like, if we go and dock right there, it gives access from the people on the land to see us. Man. And if it's dark, we have a disadvantage, right?
Yeah, that's a big disadvantage.
Like,
so you're saying you want to go in the morning?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
for
100%.
sure.
Look, if we're out here, they can't get to us.
Okay.
But we can get to them. We can see them. We can see
So
whatever
you wanna
happens.
anchor?
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do that.
Yeah, look. Right here. There. See at the bottom? Dude. Wait, what is that over there? I'm pretty sure there's something standing right there.
Yeah.
Dude, I think there's something standing there,
I saw that too.
right? There's like something standing staring at us.
Okay, let's try to do the anchor now.
Toss the rope in the water.
And then what? You just toss this in the water?
No, wait.
so.
It's not connected, bro.
What?
Oh, it is.
Yep. Perfect.
You just drop it?
Yep.
Yeah, I guess so.
There it is.
Dude, that went deep, bro. You can actually see the ground.
Yeah, you can. Good. It's good to know that we're not going anywhere.
And there was another one back here too.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Grab the
Rope
rope
here.
Just dump it in.
Yep. Dump it in. Oh, that's crazy.
So cool.
Yeah. Just like that. We're good to go.
How do you get it back?
I don't know.
You pull it up.
You pull it up?
Yeah.
Who's jumping in?
You are.
Alright guys, so we are anchored at the Skinwalker.
While they were still anchored out in the water, something shifted on the island. A figure, upright and motionless, appeared to be looking straight at them. Then a whistle rang out from the tree line, sharp, intentional, and unmistakably directed their way. It was coming right off that island, and that was enough to convince them not to pull up to the dock.
You heard that?
Yo, whoa.
Did you hear that?
That was whistling, bro.
That was whistling. I came from the island.
Oh my god. Okay, you were so right to like sleep the night here and not go there.
Yep. If we see anything, bro, I'm telling you, I already saw something on there. I don't know if it was a person, an animal, or a stick. Either way, it's not safe.
Okay guys, we're gonna spend the night on the boat. We're gonna set up some cameras around this area just in case things do happen in the middle of the night when we're not awake. But tomorrow morning, first thing, once the sun is up, we're going on Skinwalker Island and we're doing our investigation. See you then.
Hello? Guys? Yes. What's that? Scary woman. Okay. Hello? Open the door. What was that? Michelle? Wait. Michelle's there.
They positioned their cameras around the boat and eventually turned in for the night. Then one crew member jolted awake, certain he'd heard a teammate calling out to him, except that teammate was lying sound asleep right next to him. A door slammed hard, footsteps crossed the outer deck, they were floating in the middle of open water with nothing around them.
Listen. Whoa. Walking outside. How are they walking outside? We're in the middle of the water. That doesn't make any sense. Hey, bro, check over there.
Someone there?
Hello?
Hey, hello? There's people in here.
Whoa.
Where'd that come from?
Something there.
Ocean.
Bro,
There was a shadow.
Yeah.
Shadow here. Who's there?
freaking out.
Hello?
Oh my.
Oh, what? Chill.
Someone's on the roof.
What the hell was that?
How's there something on the roof,
Bro,
bro?
I don't get it.
How did somebody get up there without us noticing?
Is it a ghost?
Oh my god.
We gotta go check, right?
Yeah.
Here, let's go. Go. Dude, is there anything attached to us? Look for a boat.
I don't see anything, dude.
What the hell is going on?
Somebody up there?
Hello?
See anything?
I don't see anything.
It's sketching me out. The wind is crazy right now. Dude, be careful. You see anything here? Grab the camera.
Literally nothing up here. What the heck? Yo. Okay. Get inside.
Get back in.
Go.
Whoa.
Shh.
No. What is this? What happened?
What the heck?
What are you talking about?
Look!
Look.
Our place is trashed. Hello? Is somebody in here?
How did that happen?
Wait, no.
How's that even possible?
This is impossible.
Wait, there's a camera that would.
Oh, what the heck?
Where'd the camera go?
It's right there.
Oh my god. How did that happen?
What the hell?
What the heck?
This doesn't make any sense. How is this possible?
What the heck, dude?
Bro, it's like all in a corner.
I don't get it.
Whoa!
What was that? Yo, somebody move the boat.
What's going on?
Wait, come here.
What was that sound?
I don't know, man. What's happening right now? Where are you going, dude?
Guys,
What?
why are we closer to the
Water?
what?
Is it pulling us closer? Something was moving across the roof of the boat. They climbed up to investigate and found absolutely nothing. When they returned below deck, the cabin looked like it had been ransacked. Equipment was hurled into the corners, a camera had been shifted from its original position, and then the boat started slowly drifting toward the island under its own power. The anchor was gone. These two guys have the entire internet in a frenzy, with viewers convinced they're some kind of sinister supernatural beings or worse. Turns out they're actually the goddess boys from TikTok, doing their thing for the Uncanny Valley challenge. That's right, no demons here, just a couple of dudes in unsettling costumes doing a terrible job of passing as normal humans. Their video even includes the caption, "We are human, we promise," which if anything makes the whole thing more suspicious. The way they carry themselves and speak feels just slightly off, like your brain is picking up on something wrong but can't quite put its finger on what. Genuinely unnerving at first glance, but also pretty hilarious once you realize they're just a pair of regular content creators having a bit of fun. Finney was a 32-year-old outdoorsman from the Scottish Highlands who operated a bushcraft school known as Wildcat Bushcraft and frequently documented his wilderness journeys on YouTube. This wasn't a casual hobby. He was a seasoned survival professional who had devoted years to truly knowing the land. By spring of that year, he was gearing up for his most daring challenge yet, a 40-kilometer solo expedition through some of the most isolated countries Scotland has to offer. Back home, life was full. He and his wife Lucy had been a couple for 9 years, had tied the knot in 2021, and were raising a 4-year-old daughter named Luna. By every measure, he was content and excited about what lay ahead. There wasn't a single red flag, not even a hint that something might be off. On Friday, March 25th, 2022, just 2 days before Mother's Day, Finn hugged Lucy and Luna goodbye in what Lucy later described as a wonderful family embrace. A relative drove him to a caravan park off the B800 73 road near Loch Naver, dropping him off at around 2:15 in the afternoon. That moment was the last time anyone can confirm seeing Finn Creaney in person. Before setting out, Finn had left Lucy a voicemail at 12:52 that afternoon, telling her he loved her and that he'd be home by noon on Sunday to help with Mother's Day flower deliveries. That recording would turn out to be the final time Lucy ever heard his voice. What made things stranger still was that at 1:47, before he'd even been dropped off at the starting point, his phone went completely dark. For someone who relied on his phone both for filming and navigation, cutting off before the hike had even begun was deeply out of character. When Sunday came and went, without Finn walking through the door, Lucy's worry began to mount. By Monday, she had called the police. Mountain rescue teams were mobilized. Helicopters scanned the landscape from above. Friends and volunteers spent weeks picking through the rugged terrain, then gradually the organized effort wound down. But Lucy never stopped, and neither did Finn's father Mark, who returned to those hills again and again and launched a TikTok page appealing to anyone who might know something. Lucy messaged Finn every single day. None of those messages were ever opened. She kept writing them regardless. For more than a year, there was nothing. Then approximately 18 months after his disappearance, 2 deer stalkers near Loch Naver came across a backpack tucked into bushes along the water's edge. It was identified as Finn's. Based on where it was found, his family believe he may have tried to swim across the loch to cut down on the distance. If that's the case, the most probable conclusion is that something went terribly wrong in the water. Additional searches turned up nothing further, and eventually the family faced the devastating choice to bring the active investigation to a close. Finn had every reason in the world to come back, and yet somewhere between that quiet stretch of road along Loch Naver and the wild highlands stretching out beyond it, something happened. Something that even a lifetime of hard-earned expertise couldn't protect him from. Lucy still refuses to speak about Finn as though he's gone. And every night when their daughter asks for her father, Lucy tells her that Daddy went off on one of his adventures, that she doesn't know exactly what happened, but that she's doing absolutely everything she can to bring him home. Greg, Nick, and Ted run a channel focused on game harvesting, experimenting with new hunting techniques, and soaking up everything the outdoors has to offer. These three have logged an enormous amount of time in some of the most remote corners of the country, from thick, tangled forests to wide-open plains, always chasing the ideal hunt. But every now and then, when you push far enough into the backcountry, away from the rest of the world, you stumble into something a whole lot more unsettling than any animal ever could be. This particular incident unfolded on September 25th, 2022, deep in the public lands of Missouri. Nick and Ted had pushed well into the interior, 1.5 miles on foot, through dense timber, nowhere near any roads or homes. They'd locked in on a great location too, 3 fresh deer scrapes sitting right beneath their position. Perched high in a tree stand, directly over one of those scrapes, they were feeling good about wrapping up the trip with one final evening sit. Everything felt right. It was 6:45 p.m., that prime window when deer tend to get on their feet. Now, before we get into it, fair warning, what you're about to hear is genuinely unsettling audio. Your first instinct is probably the same as theirs. Maybe a hunting accident somewhere nearby, right? But what unfolded over the next stretch of time transformed a calm evening sit into something ripped straight from a nightmare.
Chills all down my back. Yeah. Somebody's screaming at the absolute top of their lungs over there. Very not good obscenities to someone else. Right before that last gunshot, it sounded like a truck revving up or something like that. In gravel, throwing gravel or something. Yeah. And then that gunshot was like, that one sounded like a rifle. Yeah. That last one, the other one sounded like a handgun. That last one was like, pow. But it was like blood-curdling screaming. I've never witnessed anybody screaming like that. Yeah.
Picture yourself up in a tree, 1.5 miles from the closest road, no cell signal whatsoever, listening to what sounds like a person being brutalized just 800 yards away. Over the following 30 minutes, they tallied more than 20 gunshots woven together with relentless screaming, plus what sounded like vehicles accelerating hard and throwing gravel across the ground.
nearest house over there so we can call somebody whenever we get out of here. We ain't got any service in here, so can't call the police and tell them to go over there and see what the heck's going on, but it sounds like something off a dang horror movie over there. Pretty scary. Hoping nobody's getting killed or hurt over there. I mean, it sounds like a guy that's absolutely losing his mind over there. Complete. And maybe shot somebody.
And this is where their instincts and level heads made all the difference. Rather than moving toward the sounds, which honestly would have been a decision they might not have walked back from, they made the call to climb down, hike out, and reach their truck where they could get a signal and contact the authorities.
Yes. I've heard some stuff that I feel needs to be reported to the police department. Okay. I was hunting, me and a buddy were hunting, and at about 6:45, we heard gunshots, which is not uncommon. But then for 30 minutes straight or so, there was lots of screaming and just people, obscenities, and it sounded like something really bad was going on over there, and there was 20 or more gunshots ended up happening.
Now, I can already hear some of you asking whether it could have been hunters goofing off, or maybe somebody hurt in a shooting accident, but 30 minutes of gut-wrenching screaming, more than 20 gunshots, and several vehicles involved, that doesn't fit the profile of a typical accident in the field. After multiple days of looking into it, the game warden Nick spoke with confirmed that investigators turned up absolutely nothing out there. No shell casings, no blood, no trace of anything having taken place. So what did these guys actually come across that evening in the Missouri wilderness? A domestic situation that somehow dissolved on its own? Someone in the grip of a mental crisis alone in the woods? Or something darker that simply vanished without a trace? As Ted put it in their follow-up video, stay aware of what's around you and make sure someone knows where you'll be. Because out in the wild, the most dangerous thing you might encounter isn't the wildlife at all. Sometimes, it's other people. This footage originates from a YouTube channel called Clover Forest Creature, which exists entirely for this one encounter, with nothing else uploaded before or after sharing this experience. Two brothers were vacationing with their family at a holiday home they returned to once or twice annually to unwind and enjoy each other's company. These trips were usually filled with laughter and good times, but on this particular visit, something happened that would stay with them for the rest of their lives. It was June 1st, 2012. The family was settling into their usual holiday routine at their cherished summer retreat, but roughly a week in, they began noticing strange sounds drifting in from the forest, just beyond the house. Worried, the family reached out to their neighbors, who confirmed they'd been hearing the exact same thing from deep within the woods. What made it even more disturbing was that there were reports circulating about missing pets in the surrounding area, deepening the sense that something wasn't right. But with no one seemingly taking action, the two brothers couldn't fight off their curiosity any longer. They resolved to head into the forest themselves, figuring they might stumble upon some lost or wandering animal. What they actually found, however, was something neither of them could have prepared for in their wildest dreams.
Okay. Well, we're not the only ones that have been in here. Whoa, look at that, it opens up. Whoa. There's a lot of different ways to go. I'd say let's straight ahead. What is that? What the fuck is that? Is that water? It might be, I don't know. Freaky. It's kind of eerie.
Yeah. Quiet. It's crazy you can hear every little noise. There's like a root sticking out. Yeah, I'm a little on edge, not gonna lie.
Me too. Something just creepy about wandering through a really dark forest in the middle of the night.
We are.
I'm also the axe murderer catcher.
Where you going? What the fuck, man?
Do you see this?
No, what are you talking about?
Look at this.
Oh, what the fuck?
It looks like a fucking doll.
What the fuck?
Yeah, just leave that alone. It's probably some homeless dude's shit. Fucking weird ass people.
What the fuck is that? Oh, fuck.
Fuck. I'm way too jittery about here.
The brothers pushed further and further into the woods, their footsteps quietly pressing into the earth beneath them. The atmosphere was heavy with unease, but they kept each other going, cracking jokes and laughing to cut through the tension. What they didn't know was that with every stride forward, they were drawing nearer to something completely beyond their understanding. They felt uneasy, yet still believed this was nothing more than a harmless adventure, with no idea whatsoever about the terrifying thing waiting just ahead.
Whoa, that's a big hill. Yeah, hold up. You hear water? Whoa. There's definitely something over there. It was that homeless guy that owns that fucking doll thing.
Yo, I touched your doll.
Shut up, you're gonna piss him off.
Yeah.
Homeless dudes are really possessive over their dolls. Whoa.
What the fuck? There's something back here.
Hey! What the fuck? Whoa, fuck! Oh shit, what was that? Oh fuck! Holy shit! Oh fuck. Was that anything? You guys see something back there? Oh my god, what was that?
I don't know.
Oh fuck. Do we just keep walking? Oh my god, that's scary.
No, I say we. Part of me wants to go back.
Part of me just wants to get the fuck out of here.
So just follow this.
Really?
Listen.
Whoa. Dude, that fucking scared me. Whoa. Holy shit! What the fuck? Oh my god! Holy fuck! Oh god, it's behind me! What the fuck? Oh god! Oh fuck! Oh, did we lose it? Oh god. What the fuck was that? Oh my god. Oh, fuck. Oh, was that those red eyes? Oh my god. What? That was.
Whoa. Shh. Shut up, bring the camera,
What?
Holy.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh wait. What is
Hello?
that? Is that somebody? Oh my god, is that a person? No. Oh my god. Go, just run. Oh my god, I don't know what the fuck that is. Oh my god. Just go. Holy shit. Holy fuck. Man.
What the fuck's that smell?
I don't know. Oh god.
The fuck?
Holy fuck!
By this point, the boys had switched off the camera, hearts hammering as they tore through the trees, desperately trying to put distance between themselves and whatever they had just come face to face with. Eventually, they made it back to their holiday home, breathless and trembling. Even so, the fear wasn't enough to silence the questions racing through their minds. What exactly had they seen out there? After a long discussion the following evening, they came to a decision. They were going back. This time they came ready, equipped with flashlights and whatever makeshift protection they could pull together, determined to confront the unknown head-on and find some answers. Their approach was more measured now, but dread shadowed every single step they took.
Alright, so we came back into the woods. We're taking a back way around to try and get where we were last time, where we saw it.
Try and get a better look at this thing.
We're trying to be a little more careful since we know something's here.
Spent some time on the internet the past couple nights trying to find out what it is. Watch out, there's a creek there.
Oh yeah.
Looking up some old folklore and urban myths and just general sightings. Nothing much came up. And then someone contacted us saying that it could be, you know, the Mothman or...
What the fuck's the Mothman?
Oh, well, I'm not really sure, but there are people who...
Half man, half moth. That doesn't sound very scary to me.
Some people not in
especially if he's moth-sized.
Not in this exact woods, but in the area nearby.
Yeah.
People have reported.
You know, some there are bears.
Yeah, well, bears' eyes don't glow red, and
well, you get light off an animal's eyes, and it reflects.
That wasn't reflecting. That was glowing.
Creepy. I don't know about that. But yeah, I got my hunting knife just in case, but I still want to be careful. I want to come right up to a fucking bear with nothing but a knife on me, you know. So let's be smart. Share something. Let's go down.
Watch out, right?
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Whoa, get down.
Holy fuck.
Oh my god, that's it. I think so. Whoa. Yo, keep your light on it. Keep your light on it. Holy shit, it's across the creek. Whoa.
Holy shit.
Well, I definitely don't think it's a bear anymore.
Definitely not. We gotta find a way across this.
Yeah. Do we want to go across?
I want a good shot.
Once more, the brothers spotted those unsettling glowing red eyes somewhere in the distance, though this time they appeared considerably further off. A slow creeping sense of dread washed over them as they watched the creature from a safe distance. After a while though, the eyes simply vanished into the dark. No matter how many times they swept their flashlight beams across the tree line, there was nothing to find. After a long, tense pause, the boys looked at one another. The pull of curiosity that had brought them back was beginning to overpower the fear holding them in place. Hesitantly, but with purpose, they moved toward the last known position of those glowing eyes, hoping to finally get an answer to what had been haunting these woods. Every step forward felt heavier than the last, the uncertainty pressing down on both of them.
We haven't seen it really since we saw it across the creek.
Yeah, there's the creek right there. It ran up to whatever, the shore, I guess.
Yeah.
Creek side.
You notice it kind of seems scared? Like it ran.
I know.
I think it is an animal, dude. It was scared of us.
It would explain, because the way it acted, maybe it's not the same thing. Maybe, I don't know what it is.
Alright. Whoa. Rotten. There's like something in my shoe or something. Whoa. Did you hear something?
Yeah. From this.
Here, let's go this way. I think I heard something. Trying to make a little less noise.
The boys pick up a sound somewhere ahead, completely oblivious to the fact that the creature's glowing red eyes are already visible in the footage, fixed on them from the shadows. With no awareness that it's out there watching, possibly already zeroing in on their every move, they press on through the dark, still hoping to catch sight of whatever this thing is. If you look carefully,
I should even see if we can see it good on the camera here. Oh yeah, we can. Kind of see the woods. Whoa. You hear noises? Oh my god. There's definitely something walking. Whoa. Holy shit. I'm scared. I want to go home. I want to get out of here. I'm terrified. Shit, fuck. We have... Did you just hear that? Oh my god. Oh fuck. What was that noise? Whoa, oh, get down, it's right there. Holy shit. Oh fuck. Oh shit. Oh, it's, oh, okay. Oh shit. Oh, you know. Whoa. We gotta. This is why we're here. This is why we're here. We gotta get a good shot of this.
It's not fucking there.
What?
It's not fucking there. I don't know.
Oh my god, it's gone. Just go. Okay. Oh shit.
you can make out the creature's head emerging from the darkness, its alien-like form staring straight back at them. The boys were lucky enough to walk out of those woods in one piece, but the experience left them far too rattled to go back a third time. They set up the YouTube channel and uploaded the footage, hoping someone out there might be able to identify what they had encountered. Though the video never found a wide audience, a handful of viewers suggested it bore a striking resemblance to the Mothman. Even so, the true nature of the creature has never been confirmed, no new updates have ever appeared on the channel, and this deeply unsettling encounter remains an open mystery, with no end in sight. On June 19th, 2025, a video surfaced on Truckhouse Life, a YouTube channel built around unfiltered adventure, life lived without a fixed address, and the kind of freedom most people only ever fantasize about. Its creator, Tim, had earned a devoted following by documenting his existence on the open road, the victories, the rough patches, and the breathtaking moments that come with traveling alongside his girlfriend Eden. That particular week, the two of them had been winding their way through the Sierra Mountains, surrounded by granite ridgelines and narrow roads cutting through pine forests. By the time the sun dropped, they finally pulled into their campground, a secluded little patch nestled in the trees. For a while, everything felt just right, the perfect end to a long, draining day on the road. They made food, shared some laughs, and talked about how still and peaceful the whole place felt. That stillness, though, wouldn't hold. Once darkness had fully settled in, something about the forest shifted. You know that feeling, when the woods that seemed so open and welcoming just moments ago start to feel like they're watching you back. Even the crackling of the fire seemed to dim somehow, and that's when it began. A shout tore through the night, distant at first, then another, nearer, the kind of voice that carries no laughter in it, no playfulness, just urgency.
I didn't see the moon out tonight. Well, that was interesting. Heard someone banging pots and pans and yelling and screaming and a dog freaking out, but it was just a bear someone chased off. But we're good here. We're way off the ground. Getting ready for bed. We'll see you guys in the morning, though. Oh, yeah. Someone doesn't like the bear. Good old circus bears. Anyway, I'm gonna finish making the bed. It's freaking crazy. And check on Eden and make sure she's good. Oh. Did you? I can't open the door. Did you hear that? Some guy was freaking out.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, he's just screaming.
Initially, it seemed like a commotion between campers, people yelling at each other, trying to scare something off. Then the reality became clear. A bear had entered the campground. Tim and Eden held still inside their camper. They weren't new to this. Years of traveling had taught them that bears almost never attack unless they feel cornered or threatened. But something about the energy that night felt different. Then, without any warning, a single gunshot shattered the quiet. Just one blast, rolling through the valley like thunder. For a few seconds, the whole world seemed to stop. It wasn't just careless. It was genuinely frightening. There were families out there, kids sleeping in tents just yards away, and now a bullet had been fired into that chaos.
That was nuts. Okay, anyway, I said I was going to bed. I turned you guys off for the night, started making the bed, then I heard a guy literally screaming. I'm gonna film you, film the bears. This is so good. We're both there with our cameras. People are just, there's pots and pans going off around the campground, and
We're just like,
yeah.
let's go look.
Yep. I like these bears. These bears are fun.
Yeah, these bears are a lot less threatening.
I'm actually excited to see them.
Yeah, I don't feel like we're gonna die with these bears.
Oh. Gun? Someone shot a gun in the campground?
Someone shot a gun in the campground.
Are you serious? That's insane. There's people everywhere.
I don't really think you're supposed to shoot.
No, you're definitely not supposed to shoot a gun in the campground.
I think you're supposed to go inside and let the bear do whatever the bear is doing.
That's a little bit overkill. There's literally people camped everywhere in every direction. Nothing's around here.
I don't think we're gonna hear anything else. They shot a gun. I feel like that's the conclusion.
A gun? All right, there we go. Bed's all made up.
The couple tried to bring themselves back down. They whispered to each other, laughed a little nervously, convinced themselves it would all blow over. But the night had more in store. Come daybreak, the evidence was everywhere. The bear had been close, uncomfortably close. Scratch marks near the truck, garbage cans knocked sideways, paw prints pressed deep into the soft earth. Somehow, through all of it, both Tim and Eden had slept. They made it through without anything serious happening. But when evening returned, so did the bears. From the surrounding camps, the sounds started up again. Shouting, metal clanging, the sharp shriek of air horns cutting through the trees. It was clear that either someone was under attack or neighboring campers were doing everything they could to drive a bear away from their sight.
It stopped. Oh, you guys hear that? There's people screaming and pots and pans. It's actually a really fun campground to camp in. You just hear people screaming all the time and banging things. Gunshots. Pretty awesome.
Really relaxing.
Yeah, we're ready for them tonight, though.
How are we ready?
We're gonna jump off this porch and ride that bear.
It's like a symphony of car horns. Oh my god.
I'm gonna hang out with him when he comes over.
So bizarre. So just never got it. This is so crazy.
Is it eating his leg? Like, what could possibly be going on?
I really want to know if they're like in campers or if they're in tents.
I don't know.
If they're in tents, I feel like this is a much more reasonable response than, not that it's reasonable, but I feel like it's...
Yeah, get the stereo ready. We'll play some music for him. We're gonna try a different solution. We're gonna play some sweet tunes for the bear. And if he eats us, it'll be a good story for someone else to tell. Darn it. There we go.
He's got to be checking out their camp.
Oh yeah, the bear was like on the far left side, and then we just heard him from the far right side.
I think there's 2 bears.
There's 2 bears? Oh, that's good.
I think there's 2 bears.
There's a car.
They're like, we're leaving.
Tim and Eden tried to find some humor in the madness unfolding right outside their door, but the fear underneath it all was impossible to hide. What they didn't realize was that their own moment was only seconds out. Stepping onto their small porch, they finally laid eyes on it. The bear, enormous and eerily quiet, moving far too close to their camp. Its eyes caught the faint light as it advanced. For the first time, Tim felt in his body what those earlier screams had meant. His breath tightened as he eased himself back toward the vehicle, his chest hammering with adrenaline. The bear, a mother, stopped unhurried, lifting her nose to read the air. There was almost something elegant about how threatening she was. Deliberate, composed, completely indifferent to the humans around her.
It's right there. Oh, I see him, maybe? Yeah, there he is.
Are you see the bear?
Yeah, he's like way out there in the street.
Oh yeah, I see him. Yeah, there he is.
Yep.
Oh, he's running this way.
Oh, that's nice. I don't have my bear spray or anything, but
I thought neither one of us move at all.
I'm in flip-flops. I'm gonna take my flip-flop off and start beating him.
Yeah, he's right there. He's coming our way.
Is he?
He's literally coming straight for us. Okay.
Oh, he's got cubs. Yeah, he's got little ones. Okay. Yeah, they're gonna visit the camp. Oh, they're coming and running fast.
Yeah, no, I told you. Oh, the babies are so cute, though.
Yep. I'm gonna jump up there now. Get the door open so we can jump in. They're there, right there. Oh, they're so cute. Look at them.
The babies are adorable. Oh my goodness.
They're gonna visit the neighbors in the tent.
Okay, the babies are so cute, though.
He checked the handle. See that?
Did he really?
Yeah, I just filmed him checking the handle. He might still come this way. They're just checking all the caches. Casually walking around, checking the table. They're climbing the tree, look. Straight back.
For hours, the campground churned with noise and fear. Metal rang out, horns screamed, voices cracked in the darkness. And yet, threaded through all that tension, there was something strangely moving about it. The rawness of wild nature asserting itself, reminding every single person there that they were visitors in someone else's home. Tim and Eden came out of it okay, but think about the families who weren't ready for any of this. The ones who woke to the sound of something breathing just on the other side of their tent wall. By morning, the bears were gone, and the campground had settled back into something resembling calm. But that night had left a mark, transforming what should have been just another chapter in a travel diary into a deeply unsettling reminder of just how small we are out there. In the wild, danger doesn't always announce itself with a roar. Sometimes it... February 2024, the YouTube channel Exploring with Bear posted this unsettling overnight video documenting a solo camping trip that started out as a bare-bones survival challenge and spiraled into what looks like a deliberate and deeply frightening confrontation. The premise was straightforward. A stripped-down night in the woods with nothing but a tent, a campfire, and a couple of rechargeable hand warmers to get him through. Bear had picked this particular remote location with a degree of familiarity and confidence. He'd spent nights here before, temperatures were forecast to dip below freezing, but he'd come ready with heavy layers, a reflective sleeping pad, and just enough equipment to endure the cold.
Camp and Adventure, fam. This is part 2 of this series, and I'm Jer Bear. So, this is what we're going to be working with tonight. That's it. Bare bones, baby. Bare bones. I do have that reflector under there. So in part 1, we got our campsite all together. We got our fire going. We got our tent pitched. It is becoming much cooler now. Now, right now, it's currently about 40 degrees out. 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, I think it's going to be like 26, 27 or something like that. Much better than the 9 degrees it was the last time we was camping with a real feel of -10. That was freezing. Now, I know you're probably thinking, like, how are you going to stay warm then, Bear? That's still pretty freaking cold. This is all we're using. Rechargeable hand warmers that my wife got me. They say they're supposed to stay hot for 6 to 12 hours on a full charge. So I already did run them on the charger. We'll be unboxing them later though, because it did have a nice little box. It was boxed up nice. So we will see how good these suckers warm up. I do have big thick socks on. I am bundled up. I got a hoodie, big thick flannel. I got my beanie.
It's freezing out here, but I think we're going to pull through. Earlier that evening, he'd walked his audience through the campsite, tested out his gear, and kept the mood light with some casual commentary. The atmosphere felt easy, almost tranquil. He also made a brief visit to what he referred to as the offering tree, a spot he previously used to leave food in hopes of coaxing out whatever might be lurking in those woods. This time around, he decided to skip that routine entirely. The goal instead was to simply observe, stay quiet, and let the forest reveal itself on its own terms.
Oh yes, here we go. Here's the offering tree. Oh, I'd crap my pants if now there was something up there. I just got the chills even thinking about it. But yeah, so a couple videos ago, I left an offering. Left him a couple apples, banana, and then I don't know if he took them or another animal, but they're gone. Like, there is no signs of anything now. Thought I heard something down at this bank. Probably a coon. Trying to rustle up some.
As night took hold, the temperature continued to fall, and the fire shrank to his sole source of warmth and visibility. The forest sat in a deep, almost suffocating silence, until that silence was shattered. With no warning at all, something heavy shifted just beyond the tent's edge. There were loud crashes, the unmistakable sound of something solid striking the ground nearby, and a growing unease that something substantial was moving just out of sight. Then came the breathing, slow, measured, and far too close to the thin fabric wall surrounding him. Bear stayed motionless, and the tension bled right through the screen as the camera began to tremble in his grip. Things deteriorated fast. The tent was struck with real force, once, then again, then again. This wasn't loose debris tumbling down from the canopy. These hits carried purpose. Whatever was out there didn't move the way an animal would.
I just heard I don't know if I was even all the way asleep or what, but there was a huge crash outside. Do you hear that? Stop turning my light down. There's more than one. More than one. Crap, wrong way.
The circling, the way it closed in, the pattern of the impacts, all of it pointed to something calculating. There seemed to be more than one set of footsteps working their way around the tent, slow and methodical. He kept silent, locked in place, listening to the darkness press in around him. The activity went on until the forest went abruptly completely quiet. The instant the noise stopped, Bear seized his opportunity. The footage cuts sharply. He had fled the campsite and vanished into the dark. A week passed before he worked up the nerve to go back and collect what he'd left behind. When he reached the site, his reaction told the whole story before he even spoke.
What the heck is that? Oh. It's throwing stuff at the tent. I'm armed. No. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have a freaking heart attack. Man, whatever that is, I don't know what. I almost feel like it could be people messing with me. I just heard it breathing. Oh! I can hear it.
The tent had been obliterated. A massive concrete cinder block had been driven straight down through the middle of it, collapsing the entire structure. The entrance had been cut open, and deep slashes were torn across the fabric. It looked less like an animal had been through it and more like an intentional act of destruction. The scene implied that whoever did this had come back after he'd gone, possibly under the impression he was still lying inside. Man, I am so glad we left. Man, I'm so glad we left, guys. Look at that. Look at that. Freaking cinder block. Someone destroyed the freaking tent. I wonder if they thought I was laying in there when they threw that block on it. Man, that would have messed me up. Man, it looks like somebody was trying to hurt me. Man, that is crazy. Oh, it's ripped up too. Look at all the rips in it. It's like it was cut. Yeah, look. Where's the door at? Anything in there? It's a door. This was the door. Somebody sliced it up. Oh, I wonder if they just sliced right through the door to look in at me. The sixth and final clip of the night comes from Rambling On, an Irish solo camping channel where a guy named Jason captures the unglamorous, unfiltered truth of wild camping across Ireland's punishing landscape. The date is October 27th, 2025. We're in mountainous forestry woodland somewhere in Ireland.
Camp spot that I want to check out. I don't know if the tent I have would fit. You can see why I wanted to chance my arm with this little spot, can't you? That spot there looks flat, but there's a big trench, a little trench going through it. But I can see myself coming back up here for a very uncomfortable night. Just not tonight. Little water source there as well. Nothing to complain about. Now, instead of going back down and hiking up another area, I'm going to take the lazy man's way, which is definitely going to bite me in the ass because it means going through this mess up here, which is the way I went the last time. And the last time, I didn't have a massive camping bag on my back, and I don't think there was as much water in that stream, so this might be interesting. Yeah, right. Ooh, that's a lot softer than I thought it was going to be. Right. Oh, bugger. That's not a good start. Let's just see how far I can get. Well, it's not a good start. Ooh. Okay, I think the lazy man's route is not the way to go tonight. I fancy keeping my feet dry and keeping myself upright for as long as possible. Oh yeah. Okay, let's get out of here. Ooh. Okay. There's a deer trail. You can see where they cross just here and jump over to here.
Peak rutting season, things go sideways before they even begin. His main route is cut off by active logging operations. There's mud, deep gouges in the earth, ground that swallows your boots whole. He switches to what he describes as a lazy man's shortcut, a phrase that looking back is carrying far more weight than it should. Heavy pack, terrible footing, daylight burning off faster than expected. Then a massive stag appears out of nowhere in the cleared terrain up ahead, locks eyes with him for a beat, and disappears into the trees. Jason pushes forward, but something about the mood out there has changed. It's gone from frustrating to something he can't quite put a label on.
The problem is, it's rutting season. And I kind of had it in the back of my mind that maybe the deer might be a little bit aggressive, but surely they wouldn't come near me. But if I'm laying in between all their trails, I don't fancy my chances. Especially, I'm talking about a stag here now. I know the doe, they'd keep their distance, but the stags, you know, with their big cojones. More worried about the other end now, you know, the horny bits. I'm a little bit wary of pitching up here because I can see the signs of the deer and there's trails going every direction. So it's kind of a little junction for them. I don't fancy an encounter with that stag. And I might be being a bit foolish, or maybe I'd be foolish to stay, who knows?
He locates what appears to be a decent flat spot to pitch up and almost instantly clocks what he's actually standing in the middle of. A busy intersection of deer trails, fresh droppings scattered everywhere, soil torn up by hooves in every direction. Peak rutting season. Stags territorial, on edge, ready to charge at anything that wanders into their territory uninvited, including some bloke wrestling with tent poles at dusk. He does a quick mental calculation, doesn't love where it lands, and falls back toward the forestry road. A less than ideal camp beats the alternative any day. Night settles in, dinner's going, he's set up on a small rise closer to the road, head torch cutting through the dark, and then a gunshot splits the silence. Sharp, close, no mistaking it. In May 2021, a YouTuber going by Hunt the Wild posted footage of himself standing out in an open Iowa field during the first shotgun season, waiting for a drive to push deer toward his position. A second hunter had set up to the north along a creek bottom.
Today's video is a little bit of a throwback to first season shotgun opening morning in Iowa. A very exciting and action-packed day for Iowa. But after an unsuccessful morning hunt, I'm moving out into this wide open field for a little push that Dad is doing my way. As you can see, there is a woods, a creek bottom to my left, running north and south. And sitting along this creek bottom to the north, about 400 yards, is another hunter. So, I'm standing in this field, probably 10 minutes, and successfully, Dad pushes some deer in my direction. But they are...
Deer begin moving through the area between the two of them, and the other hunter has no idea anyone else is nearby. Then, without warning, shots start going off in his direction.
They're between me and the other hunter. But the other hunter did not know that I was where I was. Therefore, resulting in some bullet action in my direction.
Stop shooting.
Yeah. A little close call for me. Communication is key when hunting in the woods, obviously. So, that is the lesson that I learned, and that's the lesson I'm hoping to relay to you guys. When hunting in the woods, communicate as much as possible. Obviously this is easier on private land, but if you're hunting public, you know, if you are parked in the same parking lot as someone else, communicate with them, talk with them, figure out where they're going to be hunting, and so on and so forth. But obviously realize that this is the outdoors, and it is the wild, therefore we cannot control everyone. We can't control all circumstances, but we can do our best to be safe and responsible hunters. So, thank you guys for watching today's video. I did not make a big deal out of this specific situation at the moment, and I'm not making a big deal out of it now. I'm simply making this video in hopes to educate some hunters.
When a fellow hunter has no clue you're in the area and opens fire, the only thing standing between a near miss and a tragedy is whether or not someone spoke up beforehand. The sixth and final clip of the evening originates from Dando's Retro, a UK-based channel that typically covers 90s nostalgia and toy unboxings. Tonight, however, they've swapped plastic collectibles for something far less controllable, a cross-country drive into Hoyo-Batsu Forest, Romania's most notoriously haunted stretch of woodland, the kind of location where compasses go haywire, GPS signals vanish, and visitors report being physically shadowed by presences that only show up on camera when it's already too late. He got out alive, and he brought the footage with him.
I think I pronounced that right. This forest is meant to be the most haunted forest in the world. The Audi Q7 is going off-road again. I do not have mud tyres on this car. Bucky's going to show you what the problem is. We're sliding sideways. Audi, we need some tyres. Hit me up.
So because he's got normal road tyres on, they kind of just turn into slicks because they gather that much mud on them. They just turn into slicks.
We're going to get into that, but there's a spot in the forest that's just like a huge...
So we are taking it to the next level again. The Q7 for day 2 is off-roading. We are taking the Q7 to its limit of off-road capabilities. And yeah, we don't have mud tyres on.
The Audi advert doesn't show them going across the field, it shows them going across the rocky thing.
The Audi Q7 doesn't get very far. Dense clay mud renders road tires completely ineffective, the embankment's sharp enough that one bad angle could leave them stranded until morning. They ditch the car and continue on foot, hauling survival supplies and camera gear into a forest that's been soaking up dark history for hundreds of years. The clearing they're pushing toward is known for dead plant life, magnetic disturbances, and a volume of eyewitness reports that could fill an entire archive. They press on regardless.
And Josh and Cody, I didn't hear it because I was too busy messing around with this. They heard a little girl. But so far, I've not detected any heat signatures.
You somehow see it on the camera, it's a green blob.
Well, I'm going to keep switching to thermal.
There's people. Turn your light off.
Turn your light off. Shit, press that button on top of my cap. Press the button on top of my cap. It's right on top. Get the thermal out. What's that?
There's people.
What the hell? Wait.
There's people. They're actually walking through the woods.
Yo,
They're coming here.
They're coming closer.
No, seriously.
I hear them talking.
There could be a cult. Let's get out of here now. No, seriously.
Come on, there's like 2 or 3 of them. With my light. My light can't even show them.
It's pitch black.
Where are they? I'm blind.
Thermal camera raised and sweeping the tree line, the display fills with heat signatures. 5, maybe 6 distinct forms moving through the trees. Silent, coordinated, converging on the clearing. Animals don't travel in formation. Animals don't advance as a group directly toward a human presence. Whatever is out there is doing exactly that.
Blue light. I see it.
Yo, you see it? See it on my screen? Why is someone out here at night?
No.
Oh, dude.
I thought people don't come down here at night.
No, we gotta get out of here, seriously.
Yeah, you're right.
Come on, let's just go.
So that thing's real.
No, come on.
So people are. That's pretty much creepy.
Which way have we gotta go? I can't even see properly. Keep going. Fuck.
In the right way, but
right, so
we're getting out into the main road.
So right now we're picking the woods, trying to get out. Which way is it, Bucky?
If you go straight through, it takes onto the road.
Right, get to the main road.
Onto the road the car would take us.
Yeah, I'm quite happy getting to the main road. Just need to get out of here.
Then comes the blue light, visible between the trunks, drifting toward them with unmistakable purpose. They're cut off, no signal, something is wailing somewhere in the darkness. 6 thermal signatures are still closing in, and now a light source is actively moving in from a completely separate direction. The call is made in seconds. They go. Now, the exit is pure disorder, mud, spider-choked trails, no reception, and the persistent crawling feeling that something is matching them step for step. In October 2019, 47-year-old Adrienne Ada Quintal was spending time alone at her family's remote cabin near Honor, Michigan. In the early morning hours of October 17th, she placed a desperate phone call to a friend. It was 2:34 in the morning, and during that conversation, Ada told her friend that someone was lurking outside the cabin, and that she had already shot at them. Her friend, deeply alarmed by what she was hearing, immediately called the police. But when officers made their way out to the isolated property on Indian Hill Road, what they found only deepened the mystery. Ada was nowhere to be found. Her boots and cell phone had been tossed up onto the cabin roof, and her 9mm handgun was lying in the dirt outside. Inside, investigators discovered multiple bullet holes in the windows and ceiling, yet every single shot appeared to have been fired from within the cabin. Despite Ada having told her friend that someone was outside, there was no blood, no sign of a wounded intruder, no real evidence that anyone else had been present. A large-scale search of the wooded property was immediately launched, with tracking dogs, drones, helicopters, and thermal imaging cameras, all deployed to sweep through the surrounding forests and swamps. The problem was that the land around the cabin was dense, waterlogged, and brutally hard to navigate. Days went by, then weeks. Ada had simply vanished. Nearly 10 weeks after her disappearance, her family chose to revisit one of the most challenging areas, a murky beaver pond sitting several hundred yards from the cabin. Back in May 2024, a YouTuber known as the Bell Explorers made his way to Daring Woods in Pluckley, Kent, a location the locals have dubbed the Screaming Woods, determined to find out whether the legends held any truth. He was a skeptic, but not a close-minded one. He was prepared to stand in the darkness, throw out some questions, and actually wait to see what came back. For a good few minutes, he spoke into the trees, inviting any spirits present to give him something, crack a twig, move through the undergrowth, do anything at all to challenge his disbelief. Hello, both of them caught it.
It's present. If there are any spirits present, please make a noise or show us that you're here. We're not here to harm you. We don't actually believe in you, but we're hoping that you're gonna prove us wrong. Please just rustle a branch or something. Make yourself known. We are only here for interest, we're not here to harm. I'm saying everything everyone else says to get a reaction. Come and say hi.
Nothing. Just birds, water droplets, the usual sounds of the forest. He started to think it was a waste of time.
Anything. All I can hear is water droplets off the trees.
Yeah.
Please change my mind. Make me believe.
Then something answered.
Is there anyone here? Please, Spirit, it'd be nice to contact you. What was that?
You definitely heard that, didn't you?
Yes, come from over there somewhere.
Is that do it again? Definitely see it.
Loud and clear, no room for doubt, coming from somewhere deep among the surrounding trees. That was enough for them. They didn't hang around to dig deeper. They bolted, cameras still running the whole time, and didn't slow down until they reached the safety of their car.
We're getting out of here, guys. I ain't f***ing with that. That's not a piece of me, that.
Out on a hike across Bell Island, Newfoundland, a remote area best known for its long-abandoned iron ore mines. One visitor snapped a series of photographs along the way. It wasn't until they sat down to review the images later that something caught their eye. One particular shot appears to show a figure dressed with a hard hat, complete with a light attached to it. Whatever it is, it doesn't look like a lens flare or an insect flying past the camera. The hiker insisted they were completely alone out there when the shutter clicked. So what could it have been? Another curious adventurer wandering the old mining grounds, or something far harder to explain? Sure, it might turn out to be nothing more than a twisted tree playing tricks on the eye, but there's an unsettling quality to it that's difficult to shake. The frustrating part is that, without any additional photos of the surrounding area, pinning down a definitive answer just isn't possible. Called it Frank, a classic Ford camper they'd recently purchased, intended to serve as their home base for traveling across the United States. It was meant to represent freedom. Instead, it almost cost them their lives. Just a single day before they were set to move in, while recording a moving into the van vlog, the couple spotted smoke curling up near the driver's feet. Within moments, fire broke out at the door. One of them made it outside right away. The other lingered, not yet realizing the cab had already caught. What unfolded next was pure chaos. All of it on film. The screaming, the scrambling, the sheer terror as the van transformed into a blazing inferno in less than 60 seconds. A bystander rushed over with a fire extinguisher and did what he could, but it wasn't enough. They fled, sheltering behind a nearby structure, uncertain whether the whole thing might blow, hemmed in by fencing and desperately trying to put distance between themselves and both the fire and the unknown. There was nothing left to do. Frank was already gone. Emergency crews showed up fast, but the outcome was sealed. The van had been reduced to charred, twisted metal. The only thing left intact was a license plate. That was all. What makes this video so difficult to watch isn't just the destruction itself, it's the speed at which something they cherished turned into something they were running from. One moment it was their dream, the next it was the most terrifying thing they'd ever been standing next to. The third clip tonight comes from Pitched Up, a UK outdoors channel centered on two friends doing honest, unscripted camping trips. They crack open beers, eat simple food, take on unpredictable British woodland, and always clean up after themselves. A night in the forest with this pair normally means jokes and tales of past hangovers. This time, the night had other ideas. See for yourself what unfolded.
Ramo, when we got there, we had to wait for a space.
They kill the afternoon hours with drinks while the sun goes down. The car park had been rammed when they first showed up. As darkness settles over the woodland, the crowds thin out and the quiet creeps in. On the surface, completely unremarkable, just two guys, a few cans, and the night pressing in from every direction.
Just get over it. Just embrace it. Something in the woods just laughed at you. Yeah, there you go. He's holding his breath.
He did a look.
Rob cycles through different remedies for his hiccups while Tom keeps the camera rolling. The unease from the mimicking sound hangs in the air over everything. Rob's frustration starts to show. It's that very particular kind of irritation that comes from suspecting something out there is copying you, something you can't locate and can't challenge. The mood shifts from playful to guarded.
There's some really loud bangs going on. Sounds like fireworks, yeah. They are big bangs, aren't they? Yeah. Can you hear these bangs? Because all of the big towns, bonfires around here have happened already. It's not a bonfire night, mate. There you go.
That is a loud bang, bro.
They settle back and around the fire. Then another enormous, isolated bang, close this time, right at the tree line. It stops the conversation dead, and neither of them manages to pick it back up straight away. Whatever has been out there with them isn't done yet. Sounds being thrown back from the dark, heavy concussive thuds rattling the woods at random intervals. Two lads leaning on the alcohol harder than they'd originally planned. They make it through to morning, tents go up properly, sight gets left clean. But dawn brings its own punishment, a serious hangover, Rob looking rough and freezing, the gear review quietly abandoned. They pack up quickly and head back to civilization. Personally, I'd have bailed the second I heard that first mimic, but that's exactly what makes these two different. They hold their ground when every instinct is screaming at them to leave. The woods knew they were there. A man was resting quietly in his RV out in the middle of the wilderness, planning to push on the following morning. But the night had something else in store. Without any warning, he heard what sounded like a woman shrieking in absolute terror from somewhere among the trees. Shaken and on edge, he climbed outside and nervously called out into the darkness, but nothing came back.
Hello?
Then, out of the corner of his eye, he caught something shifting through the woods. Panic surged through him, and he bolted back to his vehicle. But the nightmare wasn't over. Whatever was out there came after him, slamming and pounding against the van door with force. Right at the height of his terror, the van's alarm suddenly triggered, and the unknown presence fled into the dark. What exactly he encountered that night is something only that camper can say for certain. This clip comes from Strange News Adventure, a channel built around hunting experiences, outdoor expeditions, and sharing real-world knowledge with fellow outdoors enthusiasts. On April 27, 2016, a hunter had ventured deep into the woods on a combined hunting and camping trip. Perched high up in a tree stand with a clear view of the surrounding forest, he quietly scanned the area for any signs of wildlife. Everything felt routine, just another calm stretch of the hunt. Then something caught his eye moving through the trees. A bear. Initially, it looked like one of those unremarkable wildlife moments that hunters in remote areas occasionally come across. But the atmosphere shifted quickly. What seemed like a casual sighting began turning into something far more serious, forcing the hunter to understand that the dynamic had flipped. He wasn't just watching anymore. Something out there was aware of him too.
Hey there. Hey there. Down there. Get down. Down.
A large brown bear moved into the area and started methodically examining the ground directly beneath the tree stand. Its movement through the forest seemed purposeful from the start, and its behavior only reinforced that impression. Rather than drifting through without direction, the animal moved with intent, as though it had already picked up on the hunter's scent. It came to a stop right below the stand and held its position, sniffing the air and scanning its surroundings. Then came the moment that changed everything. The bear started climbing the tree. In an instant, what had been an interesting wildlife encounter became a genuine threat to the hunter's life. He stayed as motionless as he possibly could, careful not to make any sharp movements that might agitate the animal. The bear kept descending, steadily narrowing the gap between them. Each passing second felt stretched out and agonizing. With the ground far below and no viable exit, the hunter had no choice but to hold his position and watch the bear continue upward. At one point, the distance between them had shrunk to almost nothing. Then, without any clear warning, the bear stopped. It paused for a moment, reversed course, descended the tree, and disappeared back into the forest without a second glance. Just like that, it was done. The hunter had made it through what could easily have become a life-changing or even fatal situation. There's no way to know with certainty what the bear's intentions were, but the encounter makes one thing unmistakably clear. The wilderness operates on its own terms, and it can turn hostile without notice. Once that bear started climbing, the hunter's choices essentially vanished. Elevated above the ground, with no route of escape and no realistic way to put distance between himself and the animal, he was completely at its mercy. With every foot the bear climbed, the buffer of safety between them shrank further. If it had chosen to keep going, the outcome could have looked very different. At that proximity, there would have been almost no time to respond. Any abrupt movement or panicked attempt to get away could have provoked an aggressive or defensive reaction. Even a brief physical confrontation with an animal of that build and raw power can leave a person with devastating injuries. The moment the bear lost interest and turned back down was the pivot point that almost certainly kept things from spiraling into something far worse. The encounter is also a striking reminder that out in the wild, humans don't always hold the role of observer. Sometimes they're the ones being studied. A trip that started as an ordinary day of hunting pivoted into a scenario where the hunter himself had become the subject of a powerful predator's focus. For those few unbearable moments, he wasn't tracking anything. Something was tracking him. His composure almost certainly helped keep the situation from escalating, but there was an undeniable element of luck at play as well. These encounters don't always resolve this cleanly. Time and again, from remote wild places around the world, stories have shown how fast a routine wildlife sighting can spiral into a genuine fight for survival. The hunter made it home without a scratch, but what he carried with him was something harder to shake. A stark first-hand understanding that out in nature, safety is never a given, and sometimes the only thing standing between a harrowing story and a tragedy. His property owner pulled up to his secluded cabin on High Knob Road, only to find an unfamiliar truck sitting in his driveway. What seemed like it might be a simple mix-up quickly took a much darker turn once he got a closer look at the stranger who had no intention of moving along. He walked up to the vehicle and located the man nearby, making it clear right away that he was standing on private land and that the Hardy County Sheriff's Department had already been called. The stranger's reaction, though, was anything but reassuring.
To be concerned about, because I've already been talking to surveyors. I own this property. I can show you rightfully right now. You could call the police.
Okay, I'm going to. Because you are on my land. I paid to have this driveway put in. This is all being recorded, by the way.
You're wrong.
I had the survey when I bought it.
You half spoke there. Are you recording?
Yes.
You want to put that away, we can talk.
I don't trust anybody because right now there's no one else here but me and you. But I paid to have this driveway put in.
Look, I'm not talking to you if you're recording me. I'm not allowing you to record me.
You're on private property.
No, I am not, okay? Go turn that off and we'll talk. Turn that off. You want to talk?
I'm just getting the sheriff here. No. I'm getting the sheriff here. I called them yesterday, and they said when I come here.
I'm not having a conversation with you, okay? You want to turn off that recording, we can have a conversation. I'm not allowing you to record me.
Call.
You understand that? I asked you to turn that off if you want to have a conversation.
High Knob Road.
The stranger, who the property owner now referred to as Mark, had parked his truck on the property owner's land and showed no intention of moving it.
I've come to my property. I've been notified that someone's been trespassing. I come here. I have a trespasser. He's telling me that this is his property. He's using my driveway to. My cabin is located close to the line. It's been here for umpteen years now. He's using my driveway to access his. I've asked him to leave. He's told me, no, this is his property, and I need to get someone out here to help settle this and to have him removed. His name is Mark. Also, I have a GoPro on me. Am I allowed to be recording on my property? Okay, because he's telling me to turn it off. I'm just for my own safety. Okay. Okay, that's fine. At least for the record, I've asked. That's I do not know. In my vehicle, I always bring it up here just because of bears and stuff. There's a 20 gauge in my vehicle. It's unloaded. But I was bringing it just for safety of bears because there is bears are a nuisance here. But no officer is in any risk with me at all. Consider me unarmed. It is. It's in the back. Breech is open. I have utmost respect for police. I am of absolutely no threat. No, he appears to be on his property, but he's using my driveway to access his, and he's parked on mine. And I just want him out of here because I'm getting ready to put up a gate, and once I put up a gate on my property, he's not going to be able to leave. No, there's no right of way. Well, he does. His property joins mine. His property joins mine. But where the line is, when I initially purchased this, he's parked on mine. I don't believe he's camping on mine, but I do need his truck out of here because I'm putting up a gate on my driveway and he's not going to be able to leave.
According to the property owner's own account, when deputies eventually made the long drive out to that isolated stretch of road, the whole story unraveled. After roughly 20 minutes of back and forth with law enforcement, the man finally conceded that the land wasn't his and the driveway wasn't his either. He'd been lying straight to the owner's face the entire time. His justification? It was simply more convenient for him to leave his truck there. And yet, the moment he was pressed on it, the vehicle fired up without a single problem. The property owner acted fast. The second the trespasser drove off, he put a cable across the entrance to stop anyone from pulling in uninvited again. But the thought that lingered afterward was straightforward and deeply unsettling. What would this man have done if no one had been filming? With no footage, no witnesses, and nothing to keep him honest, out in a remote area where the nearest help is a significant drive away and you're completely alone with someone willing to lie about everything, that camera may well be the only line of defense between a close call and something far worse. In 2012, a university student named Helen Murray was out on a hike near Hackney Marshes in London when she came face to face with something that stopped her cold. What she described was a large, dark, hunched creature moving close to the ground. Her first instinct was that it was some kind of bear on the loose. She managed to take a handful of photos before fear took over and she fled the scene. Sadly, every shot came out too blurred for any specialist to make a definitive identification. Still, her encounter dredged up a deeply unsettling incident from 1981, in which 4 young children reported coming across a growling, upright creature in that exact same location. Authorities launched a search of the area, but the only things they turned up were a set of unusual tracks and accounts of decapitated bear carcasses that had been discovered nearby in the months prior. So the question remains, just what was it that Helen Murray came across that day? Camper Vibe is a popular YouTube channel boasting more than 110,000 subscribers, primarily celebrated for its content around camping adventures and van renovations. But one episode stands in a category all its own. The creator ventured out on a solo camping trip to one of the most notorious locations in the UK, the Screaming Woods of Daring, near Pluckley in Kent. Widely regarded as the most haunted forests in all of Britain, these woods carry a reputation dark enough to unsettle even the most fearless of thrill seekers. The woman behind Camper Vibe decided to spend a full 48 hours there, entirely on her own. As a seasoned solo female camper, who's no stranger to remote, isolated environments, she's not someone who spooks easily, yet the oppressive atmosphere of Daring Woods, layered with its sinister past, turned out to be a challenge unlike anything she'd faced before. The woods earned their chilling name from the deeply disturbing sounds witnesses have long reported after dark, bone-chilling screams and ghostly footsteps drifting through the mist. Local legend is packed with unsettling tales, the tormented spirit of an 18th century army colonel who ended his own life, a highwayman brutally slain somewhere among the trees, and dark silhouettes said to trail unsuspecting travelers through the forest. Initially, things appeared completely ordinary. She set up her tent deep within the woods and cooked herself steak and chips over an open fire. But once darkness took hold, the tranquility gave way to strange, deeply unsettling sounds. Here's what her camera captured as she sat beside the flames.
See, a Cadbury's Pot of Joy. Yogurt, basically. Chocolate yogurt. There is a lot of noises in these woods. Where's my spoon? Sounds like kids screaming. That's just a train. Is it a bird or is it kids screaming? That's a bird. That's a gunshot. The hammock's really comfy, thank God, so I should sleep well, I would think. Where's my big beam? What was that noise? This is definitely odd.
Then, somewhere around 2 a.m., the situation took a genuinely disturbing turn. At 3:50 in the morning, something suddenly triggered a violent reaction from the crows. Their frantic cawing tore through the silence of the forest, as though they were sounding an alarm about something lurking just out of sight. So does the legend of the Screaming Woods hold any truth? This Camper Vibe episode leaves that question deliberately unanswered, drawing viewers into one of Britain's most unsettling corners, where generations of dark history and haunting folklore live on beneath the shadow of ancient trees. Dave Morse's paranormal adventures had grown up surrounded by these stories, glimmering eyes peering through the darkness, miners trudging past in the dead of night, shadowy figures drifting between the trees. So on a mild evening in May, he decided to go in alone and see what was really there. The first thing he encountered, though, wasn't anything supernatural.
To get myself to work, and at 7:50 a.m. in the morning of December, the explosion happened. And like I said, guys, once I get in my tent, I'll tell you a little bit more history and some ghost stories. But yeah, I just wanted to introduce myself and tell you where I was. So I'm solo camping today in one of the UK's most haunted forests. And they say there's a fog here that rolls in, and it's the souls of the spirits that passed away from all the accidents. Now right over here behind me, the land was owned by the Holton family for over 800 years. Now they did some naughty things themselves, and obviously when I get my tent out and we sat down and we relaxed and chilling, I'll read you a little bit of the history as well. But for now, guys, follow me.
Bloxby was along the path those miners walked on the morning of December 21st, 1910. The day 344 men and boys never returned home. The shaft still ran beneath his feet, and the air carried a weight that was hard to explain. But as he pressed further in to find somewhere to set up camp, the forest felt inhabited in a way that had nothing to do with the dead.
Somebody's living here. I don't think this is a good idea, you know. Look at that. Somebody's already made it then. They're having a fire. That's a smart den though. Right guys, it's things like this that get me a little bit worried now. Because it's not a really big area, you see. But I'm not too sure about that now. The thing is, right behind this woods is a big nut house, what they call a nut house, which has got loads of people who are, should I say, not well, and a lot of them seem to, over the years, have escaped. Now, I don't want to be stuck in here with somebody.
And here's what unfolded next. Someone had already made themselves at home out there, a fire that had been burning recently, still giving off heat, half a bottle of Jameson sitting nearby, personal belongings scattered through the undergrowth. Then came the laughter. 2 male voices, somewhere just beyond the tree line, getting closer.
I can hear 2 people talking to each other. I'll show you the track because I don't really know what to do. Catherine said if you don't feel safe, then come home. I'm not a shitbag. But that is somebody living here. And I'm not willing to get my gear robbed at night. Oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. God, I don't know what to do. be screaming at me right now going, come there. Seriously. I really don't know what to do. I'm much more worried for my safety, guys, more than anything. Really more worried about my safety more than anything. But I feel like whoever's living in there is going to come back. There was half a bottle of Jameson's. The fire, I put my hand over the top of the fire, guys, and it was still warm. There could be somebody just chilling here. But for the Jameson's at this time in the morning, this time in like the afternoon, half a bottle. Says to me that's somewhere that they come quite a lot. Maybe. Fucking hell, guys, I thought I saw someone then. Just literally jump out of the bushes and it weren't, it were a bird. Well, you can see where I am, guys. It's not a nice place. Like when you're on your own. I don't know what to do here.
He held his position in the darkness for a full hour, just listening. Then he walked out. He went home, dropped off his gear, and returned at 10:30 that night. No tent this time, just his recording equipment and whatever composure he had managed to hold on to.
Since I went and come back, this wasn't here. So that's telling me that people did come over here when I came over here. I can't believe how light it is. But it's summer. And it's very warm, midgy weather. But I'm stood right in the shafts right now, guys. It just feels really creepy. Like I've got eyes all over me. It's this specific area that's just really creepy. Yeah, very eerie. So in 1910, when this disaster actually happened, there's still somebody over here, I think, guys. But I've been home.
Alone on the very ground where 344 people lost their lives, the spirit talker broke the quiet. They found my body. They found my body. Then a name came through. Stuart. Then another. Jack.
Mining disaster still reside in these woods.
Please run now.
Please run now. Are you trying to warn me? Are you trying to tell me something? As soon as it said that, I heard cracking in the bushes at the back. Can't believe how light it looks on this camera, guys. 11 o'clock. I can hear footsteps. I put the spirit talker on the floor here. Guys, I'm getting eaten by midges.
Found my body.
They found my body.
Jack communicated that he was exhausted. The spirit talker began urging him to move on. Then something made contact with the camera, and at that point Jay figured that whatever was out there in those woods had said everything it needed to say.